Just like the mythical city of Atlantis, this semi-nomadic tribe spends most of their lives at sea. They live on boats or in stilt shanty houses that they can build right in the middle of the ocean. With a population of over 1.5 million, these people have mastered the tides and flow of the sea, making them very different from regular land dwellers, both physically and genetically. Where can this tribe be found? What is their story? Join us on this thrilling adventure as we explore the tribe that lives in the sea. The Sea Gypsies. The Sama Bajau are a fascinating group of Austronesian people from maritime Southeast Asia, known for their deep and strong connection to the sea. They often refer to themselves as the Sama or Sama, but they are widely recognized by the name Bajau. As the main ethnic group in the beautiful Tawi-Tawi Islands, the Sama Bajau are also found in other parts of the Sulu archipelago, along the coastlines of Mindanao and across the northern islands of the Philippines. Their presence extends to northern and eastern Borneo, Sulawesi, and various eastern Indonesian islands. Often called sea gypsies or sea nomads, the Sama Bajau share a unique and traditional seafaring lifestyle with other groups like the Moken of the Burmese Thai Mergui archipelago and the Orang Laut of Indonesia's Riau Islands. Their spread across these regions is closely tied to their historic involvement in the sea cucumber trade, a vital part of their culture and history. The Bajau people have been journeying across the vast waters of the Sulu Sea for centuries. They are the world's only community of self-sufficient sea nomads. For the Bajau, a border is nothing more than the farthest distance they can reach by boat. They are renowned for their incredible freediving skills. They spend long hours underwater, with some reports showing they can hold their breath for more than 5 hours each day. To improve their diving and hunting abilities, some Bajau people deliberately rupture their eardrums at a young age. As a result, many older Sama Bajau have reduced hearing. Over the centuries, their deep-sea lifestyle has led to remarkable genetic adaptations. A 2018 study revealed that Bajau's spleens are about 50% larger than those of their land-dwelling neighbors, the Saluan. This larger spleen helps them store more oxygen-rich blood, which gets released into their bloodstream during dives, allowing them to hold their breath longer. This adaptation is linked to a specific gene variant, PDE10A. Other important genes in the Bajau include those involved in managing blood flow, balancing blood pH, and responding to low oxygen levels. These genetic traits are believed to have developed through natural selection, making the Bajau uniquely suited for their underwater lifestyle. Interestingly, another group, the Moken, is known for having better underwater vision than Europeans, although it is unclear if this trait is also genetic. The Bajau's intimate relationship with the sea is mirrored in every aspect of their culture. Their knowledge of navigation, passed down through stories and practice, is not learned but lived. Using their self-taught carpentry skills, a Bajau can build a fishing boat in about a week without any drawings. According to them, these methods have been passed down from generation to generation. It's in their genes. The ocean dictates their diet, their daily routines, and even their spiritual beliefs. They revere the sea as a giver of life and a keeper of souls, performing rituals and ceremonies that reflect their deep spiritual connection with the marine world. In the vast Sulu Sea, the Bajau are symbols of self-reliance. But once they set foot on land, they become part of the lowest social class. Their stateless status means they are denied government benefits. Their children cannot attend public schools, and adults are not allowed to find formal jobs. With a different sense of time for many mainlanders and little formal education, the Bajau remain separate, forced to blend in but kept at a distance, while continuing to preserve their unique way of life, as they have for centuries. Even with all the benefits on land, why have the Sea Gypsies remained to stay on land? How did they get to the waters in the first place? Journeying to the sea. The Sea Gypsies have a history as rich and fascinating as their unique way of life. To understand their story, we must journey back in time, exploring the migration patterns that have shaped their vibrant culture and existence. The Bajau are believed to have come from the southern Philippines. As early as the 15th century, different Bajau groups began traveling between the Philippines and Malaysia's Sabah region, sharing traditions and creating settlements along the way. According to the Bajau's oral traditions and royal genealogies, they were once land dwellers ruled by a king with a beloved daughter. When she was lost, either swept away by a storm or taken by another kingdom, the king ordered his people to find her. Unable to bring her back, the Bajau decided to remain on the move, becoming the sea nomads we know today, avoiding the king's wrath by never returning home. One popular tale among the Bajau of Borneo tells of their ancestors as royal guards from Johor, escorting a beautiful princess named Dayang Ayesha to marry a ruler in Sulu. However, the Sultan of Brunei fell in love with her and launched a daring attack on the convoy at sea, taking the princess for himself. Rather than return to Johor without her, the loyal guards chose to settle in Borneo and Sulu, starting a new life. This legend not only strengthens their ties to Islam, but also solidifies their identity as Malays, granting them a special status under Malaysia's Bumi Putera laws. In contrast, the Indonesian Bajau have their own story about their connection to the Sultanate of Goa. Their tales speak of a royal princess who was swept away by a mighty flood, only to be found and married by a king or prince of Goa. According to legend, their children became the ancestors of the Indonesian Bajau. Other myths, however, are more mystical and don't mention a princess. For example, the Philippine Sama Bajau tell a tale of how their ancestors were accidentally towed into what is now Zamboanga by a giant stingray. Interestingly, the old pre-Hispanic name of Zamboanga City, Samboangan, means mooring place, which comes from the cinema word Samboang, or Samboang, referring to a mooring pole. Modern scholars largely reject the origin myths claiming descent from Johor or Goa, as these kingdoms were established too recently to explain the Bajau's ethnic differences. Whether the Sama Bajau are native to their current territories or migrated from elsewhere is still debated. Linguistically, they are distinct from their neighbors, especially from the Tausug, who are more closely related to northern Philippine ethnic groups like the Visayans. In 1965, anthropologist David Sofer proposed that the Sama Bajau, along with the Orang Laut, descended from ancient hunter-gatherers from the Riau archipelago, who intermarried with Austronesians. They kept their hunter-gatherer lifestyle but became more focused on the sea as Southeast Asia became more populated by Austronesian settlers. However, in 1968, another anthropologist, Harry Arlo Nimmo, suggested that the Sama Bajau are native to the Sulu archipelago, Sulawesi, and Borneo, with no shared origin with the Orang Laut. Nimmo believed that the boat-dwelling lifestyle developed independently among the Sama Bajau's ancestors. A more recent study in 1985 by anthropologist Alfred Kemp Pallison compared oral traditions with historical facts and linguistic evidence. He placed the ethnogenesis of the Sama Bajau around 800 AD and rejected any historical connection with the Orang Laut. Pallison hypothesized that the Sama Bajau originated from a proto-Sama Bajau people living in the Zamboanga Peninsula, who practiced both fishing and slash-and-burn agriculture. These early inhabitants were well established in the region long before the Tausug people arrived around the 13th century. Influenced by the Malay kingdoms, they became culturally and linguistically Indianized by the 15th century and converted to Islam by the 16th century. They also engaged in extensive trade with China for luxury sea products like trepang, pearls, and shark fins. From Zamboanga, some of these people adopted a seaborne culture and spread out in the 10th century towards Basilan, Sulu, Borneo, and Sulawesi. They arrived in Borneo by the 11th century. This theory is currently the most widely accepted among experts studying the Austronesian peoples.